We are getting new insight into the personal trauma of the January 6th attack on the Capitol when rioters tried to overturn the result of the 2020 presidential election. Officer Harry Dunn was there. He is opening up about his experience. Dunn helped repel the rioters and received the Presidential Citizens Medal from President Biden for his actions on that day. Now in his new book, it's called Standing My Ground, a Capitol Police Officer's Fight for Accountability and Good Trouble After January 6th. Harry Dunn reveals the personal and mental toll this attack took on him and his family, and we're very glad to tell you that he joins us now here in the studio. Harry, it's good to see you.
Thanks for
I've seen you on
me.
TV many times. I love how you open the book. We need to talk about our trauma, yes, you and me, because I felt traumatized too. And you point this out in the book. For many people who were sitting in their kitchens, as I was, watching, I couldn't believe what I was watching on my screen. So I can't imagine what it was like for somebody who was there. And you say January 5th, many people didn't even know what a Capitol police officer was or that there even was such a thing. But by January 6th, we had a whole different perspective. In your book, you write what the responsibility of the Capitol police officer is what? What is their job?
To protect democracy. You know,
you said it's not to prevent crime.
Correct. Not to, you know, we have that ability to, you know, prevent crime, deter crime, be a regular police officer, but providing a safe environment for the members of Congress to fulfill their congressional responsibilities and also have protesters be able to exercise their First Amendment rights under the Constitution peacefully.
Yes. And you say it doesn't matter their party affiliation.
Doesn't matter.
Republican or Democrat doesn't matter to you. As a Capitol police officer, you're told you're supposed to put the country before yourself. True?
Correct, yeah. Everybody has their own personal opinions about, you know, their politics, their beliefs, no matter what your job, your occupation is. But when you step into work every day, you put that badge on, you do it for the country, and that's what's most important.
January 6th, you said, was different because it felt like a mental and physical gut punch to you. You said it was the first time you had ever been called the N-word in your uniform.
Yeah.
Take us to that moment, how that affected you.
You know, so we say a gut punch, you know, you don't expect to get attacked by your fellow countrymen protecting the Capitol building. Now, I don't want to say that January 6th was all about racism. I don't believe it was a racist-fueled event at all.
Do not.
I don't believe that at all. But there were racist people there, plain and simple. And you can't take that ugly element out of that day or out of this world that we're living in. It's unfortunate that we have to, in 2023, still deal with that racism.
And you say going back to January 6th, I never thought about this way either, Harry. It's like returning to the scene of the crime.
Yeah.
But yet you still go back every day. Why?
One of the things that before January 6th, I've always been in admiration of the Capitol building. It was built by slaves, and it serves as a pinnacle of our democracy. So I'm in adoration of the building as it is, and I've always felt it my duty to protect it. Now, when I walk in, it serves as a reminder of one of the darkest days in this country's history. So it's very nuanced how I deal with returning to work every day, because that is the scene of where January 6th happened.
And how do you handle members of Congress, fellow police officers, who think it really wasn't that bad that day, that you're overreacting, time to move on? How do you handle that?
I struggle with that because I'd never want to be one that diminishes people's feelings, their experiences, and what they went through in life. And what happened that day, everybody in America watched it. That's how I started with our trauma.
Yes.
Because like you said, you were watching from your kitchen and you were affected by it, or somebody was watching on their iPad in Iowa and they saw what happened. So everybody was affected in some kind of capacity that day. So it's really another gut punch that, you know, Americans will say that day really wasn't that bad and we need to move on from it. It's infuriating, but it's also saddening, the realization that this is the country that we live in, that something that monumental could happen and people don't acknowledge it as bad.
One of the most touching things in the book, you were talking to your daughter that day. She called you because she had seen what was on the news. She's telling you about her day, and you're still trying to act like everything is just fine.
Yeah. I tried to compose myself. I went to go find my phone, and you know, through all the irritants that were in the air, I had pepper spray on my jacket, so I wanted to wipe my face. I picked up my phone, and she was video calling me.
Yes.
And I wiped my face, not knowing it was pepper spray on my jacket, and I rubbed the pepper spray all in my eye. And so I've tried to hold it together. She's telling me about her day, And I'm like, all right, baby, I gotta
and
go.
everything is
Everything's
fine.
okay. Everything's fine.
You still like the job, Harry?
No, but I have a duty to do it. And at first it was a calling, like it was, serve your country. But now it's like, after seeing how fragile this country, the democracy is, and the state that it's in, I feel like I have a duty to do whatever I can, even if that's some small part, to protect and defend it.
Well, what small part is writing this book? You really took us there. It's very gripping. Thank you for writing it.
Thank you.
I hope it was helpful to you.
Thank you.
Standing My Ground goes on sale tomorrow. We'll be right back.